In this video, we're going to talk about how to find out exactly where the directrix and the focus is of quadratic functions, okay? And we're going to utilize all the information we learned in the last video, and that's right here. All right, we know that if a parabola is facing up this way, we have a point inside called a focus. We have a line below it that is called the directrix, okay? And then we know that any line from the focus to the parabola, then down to the directrix, is going to be the exact same length, which means this distance here between the focus and the vertex is the same as the distance from the vertex to the directrix, okay? And then now, when I'm trying to find this C prime, we're going to utilize this formula here, which is A is going to equal 1 over 4 C prime, or in some cases, it's actually P. Okay, those are used interchangeably, but for the sake of this video, we're going to use C prime. Okay, so that's the information we're going to use, so let's go put it to work. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch a quick graph. This usually helps me. And what I know is I have this plus 4 here, right? So this plus 4 is going to tell me I move my whole parabola up 4. And this 1/8 is an a value between 0 and 1, which tells me I'm going to have a really wide parabola facing up. Okay, so if I go sketch that real quick, I go up. We'll call this 4 right here. I have a wide parabola. I know that is at the coordinates 0, 4. Okay? Now what I have to do is I got to figure out, I have at some point inside called the focus, and then I have a line somewhere below that, which is going to be the directrix. I don't know if it's going to be above the line or if it's going to be below the line here. We'll just have to find out what that C prime value is, okay? So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to use my formula, A equals 1 over 4 C prime. I know in this case my A value is 1/8, so I have 1/8 equals 1 over 4 C prime. Multiply both sides by 4C prime. So what ends up happening is I have a 1 right here, which gives me 1 on the right. Then I have 4C prime over 8, which reduces to 1/2 C prime equals 1. Multiply each side by 2. And then you have C prime equals 2. Okay? So now, if you're looking at this saying, well, you know what? Why did we not just notice from the very beginning that C prime is in the bottom with the 4, so if I just make that 2, it'll end up being an 8. You absolutely can do that. That's a little bit of a shortcut if you notice it, but if not, these are all the steps that get you down here, okay? So now, here's what I know. I know that C prime is now going to be 2 units, right? So from here to here, that's 2 units long, so that means that focus coordinate is going to be at 0, 6. And if I go down 2 units, that line, okay, that directrix line is going to be y equals 2, because I've gone up 2 and down 2 from my vertex. So again, I've taken my A value, plugged it into my focal length formula to find C prime is 2, and now from the vertex I either go up 2 to get the focal point, which is 0, 6, or I go down 2 to get y equals 2, which is the equation for my directrix line. Okay? Alright, so using that same idea, it's a little bit different here because I got some negatives involved. But I want you to do the same thing, pause the video, try it on your own, we'll come back and check it. Alright, so now that you've had a chance to try this on your own, let's work on it together, right? So there's my coordinate plane, and I have in here this -2 is going to shift my parabola down 2 units. The 1/12, the negative part is going to flip it and face it down, and the 1/12 is between 0 and 1, so that's going to give me a wide parabola. So let's sketch a quick picture of that. So I'm going to go down 2 units, and you can draw it to scale if you want, or you can just sketch a quick picture, which is what I'm doing. So I have 0, -2 for my coordinate there. So now I got to figure out where's my directrix and where's my focus going to be. In order to do that, you have to find the focal length. So the focal length formula is going to be 1 over C prime equals A. We know my A value is -1/12, so I have 1 over 4 C prime equals -1 over 12. So now I can multiply each side by 4C prime. Those turn into a 1. I get 1 equals -4 over 12 C prime, and then that reduces to -1/3 C prime. And we multiply by -3, multiply by -3, that turns into a 1. And I have C prime equals -3. Now, the reason this is a negative in this case is because my parabola is facing down, so I know my focus is going to be in the downward direction, right? So I need to go 3 units down here. So what that would do is it would put my focus 3 units down, which would be 0, -5, and then I'm going to go the other direction 3 units, so I go 1, 2, 3, and now my directrix line is going to be here, so I know that is y equals 1. Okay, so now I have the directrix line here, and I have my focus point there. All right, so now then, real quick recap. I have to know what all the parts are. I have to know where the focus is. I have to know what the directrix is. And I know that those two, if I go from the vertex to the parabola and then straight down to the directrix, those two lines are going to be equivalent. And to find out how long the line is when I go directly to the vertex from either the focus or the directrix is going to be C prime. And to find C prime, I use my focal length formula here, and then I will sketch a quick picture and then count off however long my C prime is, either up or down, and then depending on which way the parabola faces, you could go up for the focus, down for the focus, or up or down for the directrix. Okay, hope this video helps, and we'll see you in the next one.